Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Built2Banter podcast. We've got Sebastian Ferrer and Mitchell Khalil. And I think this has been a long time coming, something we've discussed about doing for quite some time. And I think we've taken some inspiration from one or two, let's say, sport betting podcasts out there. And here we are today recording our first episode. And just to give everyone some background on what we'll be doing, we're betting enthusiasts at heart. It's our love. We love doing it. And we'll be obviously looking at mostly the English Premier League. So reviewing the previous game weeks, focusing more on the upcoming game week. And then just speaking about sort of betting opportunities, best bets for that game week. Again, just general banter. This is the name of the podcast, is about banter, and something we do, I think, 12 to 13 hours of our day, just talk shit about our clubs. So here I am, a United supporter, Seb, a United supporter, and Mitchell, unfortunately, couldn't, for some reason, put on his Arsenal shirt tonight. You're a bit scared for Liverpool, Mitch?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I'd rather see the shirt, boy.
Well, hopefully next week you're wearing it, and from a positive result, I think we're all in your corner here. Hopefully that you get a result against Liverpool. So
let's see what will happen.
So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be speaking of banter about football, banter about the Premier League, and then also adding some golf tips. So we all follow our golf very closely. You can see my capital TW for my hero here, Tiger Woods. So I'm representing two parts of our podcast here, and we'll be speaking about, let's say, some important golf tournaments that are coming up. And I think tonight we will highlight towards the end of the show the DP World Tour. We won't be touching on any of the, I would say, the PGA tournament coming up. I think the highlight is in the European Tour, the Race to Dubai tournament coming up. And we'll end off with sort of our best bets for the soccer weekend, and then obviously an outright bet for the golf, and maybe a first round leader bet, which we like taking some value before the weekend. So I think maybe just to kick off, it's always good to start with some banter. So I think this has been a hot topic for some time, and I think for myself and Seb, as United fans, and I think any United fans watching, it's a hot topic at the moment. Ole in, Ole out, and our recent reign of form. I think, Seb, you can dive in and give me your insight on what you think after the international break. Do you think it's going to do us any good? Do you think Ole's going to stay? And what's the outcome? We've got a tough few fixtures coming up.
Gee, it's a case of when and not if, eh?
Yeah, look, I think
I believe.
Yeah, no, 100%. Mitchell actually sat and watched the last United game with me, the derby, and he knows my frustration. And we got to respect Ole. He's a club living legend, but I think he's just reached his depth now at the moment. Let's see. We've got a tough.
You got to respect what he did. I mean, he came in at a fragile time when Jose left in the middle of the season, and he went on a good run. He had a dip in form, then he came back strong, and you have to give him props for what he did. I mean, at the end of the day, he got rid of a lot of the deadwood. The signings he's made, I'd say 80-90% of them have been very good signings. I think now he's just under pressure, so he's resorting to plan A, which is Freddie McTominay, and that's making him fall short. He's not been expansive enough, and I just think that it's time for change. I think he's reached his max.
Yeah, I mean, we have this discussion all the time. You all know my hate for Fred. I'm not one to throw shame on a United player. As a born and bred United supporter from birth, that's just how we are. It's in our blood. But I always said, you remember that day we signed Ronaldo? Ripped my shirt off. my back, ran around, writing, crazy, screaming, crying, a lot of emotions. But remember we had a discussion. We ain't winning anything or any leagues with Fred or McTominay. I mean, from my opinion, it feels as though we're lacking or we've got some sort of hole in that midfield. So I think, again, it's a big topic for discussion. And I think while we're on United, I mean, what do you think? Are we going to get a result away this weekend?
You know what? I think it's the case with every United game this season. It's a case of all three results are in play. I believe we could win, we could draw, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if Watford win. I could see that happening. Claudio Ranieri at the helm, they're playing decent ball. But yeah, if something's changed, I don't know what could have changed. Ole's been away for the past week. He only came back to training today. But yeah, all three results on the table for me. But obviously United at heart, I'll go for the United at 5-10.
100%, yeah. We always play with our hearts, I think, when it comes to our home club. Never with our head.
What is the injury news there, cuz? With United? Is Varane in, out?
I saw Varane cycling on a bicycle, but I don't think he'll be back this weekend. I don't know, Seb, have you seen any updates on?
I heard McTominay had a sore throat or something. I think he will be back. And then I saw that Cavani, I don't know if he's fit or in training.
Well, he never travelled to international, so maybe we kept him back for good reason. Look, I'd love to see Cavani start on Sunday, but I don't know. Look, it's a tough one. I'm always a nervous supporter of recent times, and as Seb said, it can go one of three ways.
Yeah. I also think Claudio Ranieri is not my guy, but Ole gets himself out of shit. We'll see what happens.
100%.
Yeah,
so
on the injury front, I think we do have quite a few niggles. Obviously, Varane's out, I think, for another 2-3 weeks. I think Shaw picked up a knock. He returned to Manchester.
Yes.
McTominay,
playing for England.
Cavani, Pogba's out long term.
But where's the positive with our captain silencing the haters? 2 goals, 2 games.
What was he doing, boy?
I don't know. I don't know what he's acting.
Sure.
I honestly don't know what he's acting for.
He hardly even celebrated.
Yeah, so I mean,
no.
Can you believe it? But look, as I said, we can sit here for 20-30 minutes talking about this discussion. But there's lots more to talk about. So Seb's obviously in the United corner. I'm in United corner. Mitch, I mean, for that game, what are you going? I mean, just everyone also, sorry, Mitch, before we touch on the bets, we obviously also play Super Brew. So there'll be instances where we will give our Super Brew picks for the game weeks. We won't be doing that this week. We'll be starting that from next week. So giving you sort of Super Brew predictions, and we'll take it from there. But I think, Mitch, your sort of prediction for that fixture?
Yeah, I think it'll be a tight game. I think United will just edge it. I think Ole knows how to save his job. I think United will win.
You think so? Ronaldo with a hat-trick?
2-1. Maybe 2-1, 3-1.
Angry Ronaldo after Portugal.
100%. Yeah, it hasn't been going his way also.
Does Donny van der Beek to start, Mitch? What do you think? Think he deserves a start?
Maybe, because deserves a start, of course. I mean, especially, I think McTominay is doubtful. Pogba's not there. But we all know Fred's going to start.
But what's the formation? Changes all the time. What is the formation? What are we doing? I think that's what frustrates us as most supporters.
He's got to go for it. Because I saw when Watford played Arsenal, they sat back. So I think you got to seriously go for this one and play a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. You can't play 5 at the back against Watford, guys. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agreed.
Well, without Varane, he's going to have to start with
Lindelof, Maguire.
Yeah, Linda Maguire. Yeah. I think Linda might have a knock, so it might be Bailly and Maguire and Telles.
And Wan-Bissaka on the right.
Also very disappointing this season, Wan-Bissaka. I mean, that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really disappointing.
Progressed.
Honestly, I think I'll take what I think it was Roy Keane said on one of the shows. Crystal Palace wouldn't take him back for free. So I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway,
We'll see what
It's
happens.
been frustrating, but I think the whole team has been frustrated at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't really pinpoint one person who's been terrible, but yeah, I do hear you. He's been very frustrating.
okay. Maybe move on to the next game. I think it's the Leicester Chelsea.
So we're
First-
all with United, eh?
All going with United. United straight win.
Go boy.
Then we just jumped a bit to United, but I think we should have started from the top, which is the Leicester Chelsea fixture.
No problem.
2:30 kickoff. I think we got quite a jam-packed day of EPL on Saturday, which is nice. We've had a little bit of a break. So Chelsea Leicester. What's your boys' thoughts?
Well, I'll start. I think Chelsea will bounce back strong. I think they drew to Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. We got stuck out there, G.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Before the international break, and I don't know. So actually, one of the few games I didn't watch, but from what I heard, they were very lackluster and like burnt out. I think the international break came at the right time for them. I think Romelu Lukaku is going to be back for this one. I see him putting things on Twitter, running around the pitch and tweeting funny things, saying that he's, nearing a start again. So I think that's a huge plus for them. I think they'll bounce back strong. I don't think Leicester's the same team as they were last season, but then again, they are good at home. I think it's actually going to be a good game, but I think Chelsea will win this one. I think it will play into Chelsea's hands this game.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a tough fixture. Leicester at home, as you say, they're not the beast they were, but it's a very tough fixture, this one. I mean,
in my head, I'm just thinking also Chelsea's like title contenders, and obviously it's a huge test for them. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think I like Chelsea.
high-scoring game, low-scoring game.
Yeah, boys. I think Rodgers will bounce back. Yeah, the reason I say that is the formation. I think Leicester's going to match their man for man. They play similar style as in the three at the back sometimes. So I think Leicester are going to cause them a lot of problems. I think Chelsea have found a bit of a chink in the chain at the moment. I know Arsenal gave Leicester a battery, but I think Arsenal are on the up at the moment. So I'd fancy Leicester to get a point, to get a result against Chelsea.
So you're going maybe for a possible draw?
I'll probably say Leicester in the draw, at the
Look,
for Leicester for the home win.
Look, Leicester in the draw is not a bad price. So they're even money. So, I mean, at the end of the day, after I would say our preview, we're going to give sort of an all to go. I mean, we're not going to just give you one or two teams. It's really not going to work out. The prices are, we all know the prices are quite short. So I think Leicester in the draw is not a bad price at even money. You all know I'm for the overs and the unders and the total goals, and that's something I was looking at in this fixture. But you may be onto something with that list in the draw.
I think also a good bet could be both teams to score. I think that could be a good bet.
Yeah, actually. Both teams to score. Basically, it's even money. It's 9-10, so it's also not a bad bet. Yeah,
it could also be nice.
Do you see Chelsea scoring first, maybe, and then Leicester coming with another goal maybe for half time, and then the game just sits there like that for the next 20-30 minutes?
Yeah, Jamie Vardy's always good for a goal at home. So
he hasn't been scoring. I mean, he hasn't been playing.
Very
out
true. He's been going through a dry spell. So yeah, you would want to bounce back against Chelsea. A big side. He does come. He rises.
The second top scorer in the league, so you can't really say that. But
yeah, he's been dry. I think past 3 games he hasn't scored.
No, he hasn't scored. I know.
3 games.
He's cost me my fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the bet there? I mean,
no, you're right. If I were to play Super Brew, I'd go 2-1. I would go 2-1 each way. That's what I'd be thinking. Either Chelsea 2-1 or Leicester 2-1. So definitely both teams to score. I don't know what price that is, Mitch, but I think that's a very good bet.
So that's 9-10. So maybe that's the bet. Then we take, that's both teams to score. I think that's not a bad price. Obviously, the next fixture then, Norwich Southampton. Norwich at home.
Okay, Norwich Southampton. It's a new manager now. See Norwich, Dean Smith from Aston Villa.
Yeah.
quite weird, isn't it? I mean, the Oak just left Villa and he's got a job straight away, you know. I don't know what to make of it.
That was
I
supposed
know
to be.
Dean Smith.
Wasn't Lamps lined up for that position?
Yeah, he was lined up, and then obviously I think Dean Smith got sacked like 2 days later, and then obviously they reassessed their options.
Apparently, what I read, Lampard wasn't too happy with the project. It is hard to walk into a relegation threatened side. So I think Lamp said no, and Dean Smith was number 2 on the list, apparently. So that's what happened. I think Lamp is waiting for another job.
Do you think Dean Smith is, or do you think Norwich is accepting relegation this season by hiring Dean Smith for a longer term project? Or do you think they think they got a chance to stay up this season with Dean Smith?
Well, I think, Mitch, that the fact that they're going for Frank Lampard, I mean, ex-Chelsea boss, must mean they have some ambition to stay up. So I definitely think that the hiring of Dean Smith, I thought that Villa firing him was a bit harsh, to be honest. I think he had one bad spell of form in the past 18 months and they fired him, which is a bit harsh. So I think Norwich, on the back of this last win, they beat Brentford. I know it's another promoted side, but
yes,
I fancy them, eh?
Oh, is it?
I fancy them this week.
I'm also in that camp of Norwich. Definitely.
One thing about Dean Smith is that I remember when he signed for Villa, keeps his team solid. You're going to see they're going to be hard to concede now, back to basics. So yeah, I can agree with you. They can definitely get a result for sure.
So I think, look, their home price isn't too bad. It's quite appealing. I mean, they're just over. It's quite even in the betting between the two. Just over 2-1. So,
what do you fancy?
Home win. I'm going for home win. I think Norwich will go home win. I mean, also another difficult game. You know, Southampton can just come up on the day and pull out a result, and
because they're a very good side. But they blow out in cold. You don't know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah.
So
okay, so maybe not spending too much time on this fixture. I mean, yeah, new manager, but I think Mitch, are you in the same camp there, Norwich home win?
Look, I'm not going to get involved in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you like Norwich at home, strong, go for it, boys. But yeah, I'm staying away. But yeah, I think it's got, in my eyes, a draw. I think they'll get a result.
So we're going to say no bet there then. We agree on that then.
Well, Sebi says he fancies Norwich strong, so it's up to him. I don't know. Give me confidence.
Well, to be honest, Southampton are defensive, resolute side. They don't really offer much going forward recently. So I think Southampton will go there, be happy with the point. So I don't see why Norwich in the draw. I think you get even money on that.
It's a good bet.
Oh.
Not much confidence. Not much. You don't know what Dean Smith's going to do there. So maybe leave that one out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we've got Aston Villa at home to Brighton with Stevie G, manager, back in the Premier League.
Yeah, Seb, you can start with that one for a change.
All right. Yeah, look, I was a bit surprised. Look, I already said I was surprised that Dean Smith got sacked in the first place. I thought he did a very good job at Villa last year. But yeah, Stevie G's done amazing at Rangers, and now he's come to Villa. He was unbeaten at Rangers, I believe. So I think he's on the up, Stevie G, and I think he'll get Villa to a very good place. Not that they weren't in a good place, but I think he'll get them in a good place. They had a very bad to perform recently, but yeah, they're playing against a very good Brighton side. I think Brighton are top 10 contenders.
It's a big, really tough fixture. This, I mean, I think Villa will come racing out the blocks here, but I've fancied and I followed Brighton in most of my bets throughout the season thus far. I mean, they've done really well, so I think it's a really tough fixture.
So you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get with Brighton. They play the same style of football, game in, game out, and they're always good prices, so they're very easy to follow.
Yeah, I think, yeah. How do you think Stevie G will approach it in the long term with Villa? I think he's always been attacking with Rangers. He had to be, I guess, because, you know, Scottish League, you got to perform, especially with Rangers and Celtic.
Yeah, exactly.
So
hard to judge because
Yeah, so like, no.
Really big follower in the Scottish League.
Yeah, well, obviously he has to go attacking with Rangers. And he's always started games on the front foot. You know, I think he's won like 75, 80% of his games at Rangers. So it'll be interesting to see how he sets up against Brighton, if he's going to sit back, because they've lost 5 in a row. So
But
let's see what happens at Villa Park. I don't know.
Tommy,
I think it's...
Is Ings fit? Is he fit or is he injured?
I think it's a long-term injury that, I don't think he'll be fit for this weekend.
So Ollie Watkins.
A very, very good squad. So I can see why he's taken the job.
No, he said he couldn't say no.
Yeah.
He was in a very good place at Rangers. They're in Europa League next stages. So, I mean,
yeah, top of the log, everything.
So he left for a good project. So, but I think first game, I think Brighton are a very well-oiled machine. So I'd fancy Brighton again. I've backed them throughout the season. So I think they can get a result there. What do you think, G?
I agree with you. As I said, I've also followed Brighton throughout the season. But I really think it's a tough fixture. I mean, if you fancy Norwich, why not fancy Villa with a new manager at home? So I think this is really a tough fixture. I think this is also another maybe both teams to score bet. But I actually wouldn't touch this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a tough game to predict.
No, very, very tough. Really, this can go either way.
New managers create a whole different dynamic.
They do. And Brighton actually have dropped the ball a bit, being fair. I mean, they started like a house on fire, and I don't think they've won their past 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check here quickly, 1 second. So, yeah, they dropped the ball. So the coach effect could have a big thing at Villa Park. They could bounce out with a win, with Stevie G.
Yeah, 100%. Tough fixture, but no, I won't be touching this game. I don't know about you, Seb, but
yeah, the Brighton haven't won a game in their last 6. 5 draws, 1 loss.
Sure.
So yeah.
So all right. So okay, so then we're gonna agree then to leave that out. Then we're not gonna add that then to our multiple.
No bet for me.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it out.
All right, then we move on. Wolves at home to West Ham. Another tough fixture, really. Wolves playing good football. West Ham playing good football. Where's this going?
Tell you what, they played so well against Liverpool, West Ham United. They deserved that win. They were all over them. They mocked Salah out the game. That front 3 of Jared Bowen, Ben Rama, and I think it's Fornals. Yeah, and Antonio above them. They've reached a new level. I like them very strong.
That double pivot. Is there better double pivot? I think.
Yeah, well, that's Souček and Declan Rice. They complement each other so well. They got a good defense now with Kurt Zuma. I know Okbonga's injured, but they got Dawson for replacement. The wing backs are solid in Cresswell, and the right back is Kufal. Yeah, he's brilliant, and they got a solid keeper. David Moyes has really got them running this season, boy, and I fancy them strongly against Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, your camp. We have to sort of speed through now. I think we're spending a bit too much time on each team, but yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of a West Ham away win. Relatively a good price. They just over, yes, I would say even money. So it's really not a bad price.
What's the exact price?
Hold on, let me get it here. It's in this funny format. Sorry. No problem. Well, they're 14-10.
I think that's a lot of value. I think I know Wolves are solid. They've come well. I think they beat, I think it was Everton, their last game.
They've been on a good run.
They've been on a good run, but this is a huge test for Wolves. I think West Ham are the real deal this season. Definitely top 6, and possibly top 4. We'll see how how long their Europa League run goes, but they do look the part.
So we're going West Ham away one.
Yeah. I think
I like them strong.
Okay, perfect. Let's just move on. We've got a few more games to touch on. Burnley, Crystal Palace.
No problem.
Burnley at home.
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think what saved Burnley this season's their signing, that Maxwell Cornet. What a baller. Have you guys seen? I think they've scored in every game for the past 4 games. So they're on a bit of form now. I think they're 3 unbeaten or something.
And Palace are playing good ball.
Very good ball. But these Palace for me are the dark. That's the team that kills me every bet every week against Crystal Palace. Every Super Bowl pick, if I pick a Palace win, they draw. If I pick a draw for Palace, they win. So it's a no bet for me this game, eh?
I'm in agreement. No bet. Seb, if you think we're gonna add some more time to that fixture, but I'm no bet there as well.
No, that's very tough. Another 3-way, anything can happen.
Right, then we've got Newcastle and Brentford. Newcastle again, new manager, new blood.
Geez, it shows you how they change managers before international break, or in international break. It's actually crazy. I like the appointment. I know some people won't agree with me on this group, but on this chat, I think it's a very good.
The
Anyway, no, I like Eddie Howe's appointment. I think this is a game for them to now show that there's change and that they can bounce with a win. They're playing the Brentford side that's in terrible form at the moment. They're playing. I know they started like a house on fire, but now they're really getting to the nitty-gritty of the Premier League and they're struggling. So I like Newcastle, yeah. I wouldn't say it's a banker because we all know Newcastle's also in terrible form, but I do think they're going to win this game.
Yeah, look, I think just for sorry, I mean just for all the guys listening and whatnot. Ideally, we want to give you the best bets. So if we're going to give you a multiple at the end, it's our bankers what we're most comfortable on and confident on. So. Rich, are you comfortable with that banker? Then that's Newcastle for home and Seb?
Yeah, I'll go with Mitch there. I think Eddie Howe will bring an X factor on the weekend.
I think it's a huge game for them, Seb. I think it's a big game for them. I know it's like Newcastle Brentford. It's not a big game, but I think it's a huge game for them.
It's not a big game. It's a must-win.
Yeah.
What player is going to be signed for them in January when they've got 3-4 points? They're going to guaranteed almost relegation. So
it's a huge.
Every game now in December is a must-win for them. You can have all the money in the world, but nobody's going to really sign for you if you're going to get relegated.
Are you still firm Eddie Howe will get sacked before Christmas?
I think they'll beat Brentford. They've got tough fixtures coming up. We'll talk about those in the coming weeks.
I don't know. I think it's a good appointment.
So we're going to go Newcastle home 17-10, not a bad price. So we'll add that to our multiple.
That's a very good price. That's good value. Sure.
Good value. Right, then we've touched on Watford, Manchester. Let's not go back there. Then obviously the highlight fixture for the weekend, Liverpool Arsenal. I think we need some. We don't have much time to discuss this, and I don't want to depress you, Mitch, but your thoughts?
No, I do think we're going to perform well. I think going to show what we can do. I think we on the up, like Seb said. I think there's a couple injuries. I think Aubameyang could be out. He came back from international break early. Thomas Partey didn't play for Ghana.
They've got a couple knocks there.
Sorry, what did you say? Sorry, Seb? Cut out?
Liverpool also have a couple injuries.
Couple injuries by a year. Sadio Mane's back and Henderson's back. They're back in training. Was just injury scares more than anything else. But basically, I think we'll hang in there, guys. But there's just Arsenal at this stage. I don't know if you've seen us when we 2-0 up, we start sitting back and retreating, and I think that's going to be our downfall. And I think we might just fall short here, 2-1, maybe even 3-1 Liverpool. I'll be very surprised if we get a result there. Then it's a huge, huge thing for Arsenal at Anfield.
Yeah, I'm definitely in Liverpool home win. It's the I think Liverpool's sort of been that banker bet throughout the season, barring their one or two hiccups in the season. But I just don't think you're an oiled unit yet to.
No, it's too. I think it's too early. It's too early.
Yeah. So we're gonna go Liverpool home win 5-10. We'll add that to the multiple.
Liverpool 5-10 at Anfield must be a banker.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal will cause them 1 or 2 hiccups, but Liverpool will edge it.
No, yeah. All I expect from the boys is a good showing. Don't lose 4-5-0 now. Then the banners come out again.
Yeah, I feel like a 2-1 Liverpool. I think that'll be the result.
Yeah. I fancy it'll be a tight game.
Good evening.
Even about. Good evening, Villarreal.
Okay, so confident Liverpool selection there at 5-10 home win. Okay. Let me move on. City, Everton, City at home.
Banker,
City,
boy.
Banker, all day banker there. 1-6, though. Very short. Obviously, every right to be. But
I would even go as far as like over 2.5 goals and City. I don't know what you'll get for that because they always seem to have Everton's number. I don't know how Rafa Benitez will set up for this game. But City, very well-oiled machine, boy.
They're too good. Too good. City win.
Okay, City win. That's the banker. We're just going to go straight win. We won't put the City in more than 2.5 goals. We'll just go the straight win. And then the last feature for the game week is Spurs at home to Leeds.
Another new coach. Antonio Conte.
I didn't realize how many men.
Crazy, eh? What do you think, Seb?
I think Conte's had his couple of weeks now to drill in a little bit of his philosophy. Harry Kane scored 6 goals in 2 games for England. So that makes Spurs an absolute banker.
I see Son also scored today, actually, for Korea. So I think definitely...
He's going to be back in town.
So I hope he's in my fantasy team. The differential captain. But John, I do think that Tottenham, Spurs at home to Leeds also have me performing
Leeds
at the
same
standards.
team. What price is Spurs? They must be half decent.
Spurs are 5
I won't
to
give
10.
a price.
About 5 to 10.
That's not bad.
5 to 10. 15 to 10.
Thoughts on Leeds last season?
Sorry, 7 to 10. They're 7 to 10. My mistake. 7 to 10. That's not a bad price.
That's not bad.
So we'll definitely.
Anyway, I don't think we have much time left on this call.
Yeah, so maybe just a recap on the multiple that we discussed. So we've got Newcastle, a home win. West Ham, away win.
Yes.
Tottenham, home win. Liverpool, home win. Leicester, Chelsea, both teams to score. And United, away win. We've got a 49-1 multiple there, which I think is a very nice value for the weekend. I think we won't discuss any of the betting sites, but most of them sort of give you an added. Okay, so again, this is our first recording of Built2Banter's episode number 1 of our podcast. So we clearly ran out of time on that first video there. Talking, I think, a bit too much on United's situation.
Way too much. Sure.
But moving forward, each week, we will compile everything into one sort of 40-minute episode. So before we were sort of cut off, we were just going through that also, Mitch, that ought to come bet there. So maybe just to highlight for everyone again, I think it's quite a solid bet. We're actually talking about it now. Newcastle home win. West Ham away win, Spurs home win, Liverpool home win, Leicester, Chelsea, BTS, so both teams to score, and United away win, the sweat. But I think very good value for 49-1. And as I said just before we got cut off, I'm sure most of the betting sites give you that little bit more bonus on that multiple. So I think even if you put your 100, 200, I think your return will be good for the weekend. So that just sort of wraps up the soccer preview and tips for our chat. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys want to take from our discussion there.
Nothing on my side. Like everything you said. I'm happy with the bet.
I think it's a pretty solid bet. I mean,
it is solid. I won't lie.
It really is a
very good.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? 2, 4, 6 teams. I mean, it's nothing we have to really worry about. We're not taking this big Bible bet. I mean, it's 6 teams on a Premier League. 6 games, yeah.
6 matches, eh?
6 matches, yeah. Obviously, the bulk of it's all on Saturday. So I think if we threw on Saturday, we've got a chance.
I was looking at. I'm happy with that. But I think a value, just a little sneaker that I worked out is just two games. Norwich home win, you'll get 2.7 for the home win. On to Leicester City to beat Chelsea, you'll get 3.65.
Is that the value?
Quick little double at 16-1. That's what I like.
Nice double bet, yeah. Nice cover. It's a nice cover bet. I think for the original first multiple, it's a nice cover bet.
I'm taking notes, yeah. We'll analyze it next week. We'll see if you're right or wrong.
We'll see if you're talking crap or whatever.
100%.
Yeah, so we'll definitely review these two bets, and look, we hope we brighten up everyone's weekend, and you wake up on a Monday morning with some extra cash in your bank account. So yeah, let's hope that our first sort of episode and first preview and tips gets off to a winner. So that sort of concludes the EPL review and betting tips. And I said we were going to touch a bit on some golf. And as I said, we've got the DP World Tour in Dubai this weekend, kicking off on Thursday.
We must first get mutual selections at Kenilworth before we go any further.
What's Kenilworth, Seb? I don't even know what Kenilworth is. Horses, I talk to you, boy. Horses, I talk to you.
The old days.
The good old days.
We'll leave the horses to Neil Andrews and Nico, what's his name?
Nico Kritziaitis.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Clock in the Gallop.
100%.
Yeah, so just talking, I think on Dubai, I always enjoy the European Tour events in Dubai, and I think we've got quite a solid field here. Mitch, your boy lover, Rory McIlroy, leading the betting market at 6-1. We had a discussion the other day. You thought he would be more close to 10s and 12s.
Yeah, look, golf. One thing about golf, it's a very hard bet to catch on the nose if you're calling winners. That's why you get such good odds. And yeah, I looked at the field. I think the bookies have got it right. I think it does look like a 2-horse race. I think Colin Morikawa is looking for the overall title.
The race to Dubai.
For the race to Dubai. Yeah,
he's leading.
So that's why he's leading. So I don't know if they don't do it like the FedEx Cup with whoever comes first wins.
No,
I think he just has to come in like the top 3 or something, and he gets enough points to win it.
I was actually watching. I was actually watching some videos they posted this afternoon. I think Rory and Colin's practice round, and they're both shooting some straight arrow bombs, and we all got to value sort of Colin's iron play, which is probably one of the best in the. Based on tour.
Yeah, in the game. Yeah, no, he's special. He's going to be special. I think he's going to have a big season next year. But this is Rory's happy hunting ground. This is where I think he's won here like 3 times, guys. I think 6-1's the right number for him.
Look, it's short. As you said, it's difficult to take a bet on the nose.
Sometimes you wait before the tour. Sometimes you take the risk at taking 6-1. But that's a risk you got to take. I mean, just now the Oak shoots 64, 65 first day, then he's even money.
Yeah, so I mean, we all know you clearly in Rory's camp. Said before,
in his cap. I got a value bet. I think Tommy Fleetwood also does well. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's my boy. That's my boy.
That's your boy now talking about.
Yeah. And
he does well there also.
Yeah, Tommy, just a bit disappointing. Doesn't know how to finish. He's got that one low round.
Wasn't he there last week? He was there hunting. He was around the top.
But again, I said he's got that one low round, and then he sort of fails. I mean, Seb, I know you're a follower of Colin. You quite like Colin. So is that your fancy? I mean,
yeah, always adding Colin to the bets. Look, I listen to the pros of the golf, but definitely.
Look, also a nice bet, I think, Jay, is South Africa's very own, I think, Christian Bezuidenhout. I think he also does well, Yakas.
But when last did he play?
I like him.
When last did he play? He's been... he played last week,
yeah, I'm sure he played Dubai last week.
Was he in Dubai last week?
Oh, Houston. No, he was in Houston. He was in Houston.
Yeah, he was in Houston.
Yes, 100%. He was in Houston, and now he's come for the... He's done... I think he came top 10 when John Rahm won it. Not too far back. I think it was in 2019 before COVID hit. And then
he's a favorite runner, Cristiano.
Yeah, what's his price? I think he's like in the 35 to 1 range, or
he's 35 to 1. Yeah, 35 to 1. Look, it's always nice to have a SA boy for Hiers, running your ticket. So I think out of the South African boys, I think we have to have a few rand on Christian. We don't want to
100%.
obviously sit and give you every single golf in the field. I mean, there again.
Can I just ask you something? What name's missing from this Dubai Championship? South African.
King Louis.
Probably the best South African, obviously.
Yeah, because he's
farming. King Louis.
It's because he's farming.
Yeah, but I see he's in the tournament in the PGA Tour. Now, why is that? Because he's normally done well in Dubai. So
I just think
I don't know.
I just think Louis focusing all his efforts now onto the PGA.
In America,
he's based there.
I know we're not talking about the American, but have a few rand on Louis Oosthuizen. I think it's the RSM Classic.
Yeah.
I don't know what price he is.
I think just not to discuss too much or too many golfers. I mean, Rory, obviously an obvious favourite, 6 to 1 short. Colin, again, on his favourite. I'm bigs on Tommy. I do like Tommy big in Dubai, European Tour in general. He just doesn't.
He always shines.
So I think Tommy at 16 to 1 is a good bet for the tournament. And then another bet that we like taking is the first round leader bet. Also extremely difficult because you always get the sort of a random golfer that pops up with a 10 under round. We never see him again throughout the weekend. But
who's the Matthew Wolf, guys? Who's the Matthew Wolf boy?
I think that first round leader, I always like for first round leaders, Tyrrell Hatton.
Yeah, he always goes low, eh? 100%.
Tyrrell Hatton, 20 to 1 on a first round. He's normally always there knocking at the door. So he's at 20 to 1, maybe just for a few rand to get your weekend started. But then again, that is the most difficult bet.
That's tough.
Really the most difficult bet.
I think, I haven't caught many of the first round leader. Yeah. When you catch it, you must smile, boy, because you're getting good odds.
But I'm sticking to my guns.
Throw in another South African for first round leader.
Who?
Garrick.
He go, eh? Because he also, I know, we're talking about a lot of golfers now, but he's got claims because he does well in European Tour. And I think he's been in America all this time. It's just different for some golfers playing in Europe. And I don't know, but I think this tournament, the cream always rises to the top. I think one of the big boys will win this one for sure.
Yeah, so I'm firm. My bet, my play for the weekend is Tommy Fleetwood. I'm not gonna touch Rory at 6 to 1. That's just me. So we'll just again talk about this obviously next week.
Sorry about that.
But no problem. Seb, what's your fancy?
I'll go for Cristiano.
Cristiano was at
35 to 1. $100 won't get you in much trouble.
No, 35 to 1. Always good value. Cristiano always gives you a run, and he'll hopefully make cut. And I'll tell you, if he makes his cut the weekend, he'll definitely be there. Mitch, your bet for the European Tour?
put a couple units on McElroy. I think the Oaks gonna do well. I like Tommy Fleetwood and I like Christian Bazano as well. That's my 3.
All right, so that sort of wraps up episode 1 of our Built2Banter podcast. We hope we've entertained you somewhat. Bear with us; it's our first time recording. I think with time we will improve lighting, sound, and I think just overall time management. But hopefully, with our selections that we've given you this week, makes you some money. And we, as I said in the beginning of the show, we will be going live. This will be going live every Wednesday evening at 9:00, just to accommodate for any golf tournaments that kick off on a Thursday. So thanks Seb, thanks Mitch. I think it's been good first show.
They must like our page and all that, G.
Oh yeah, sure. So how did I forget about that? Just so you have to subscribe to, please like and subscribe the Built2Banter YouTube page. We've also got a Twitter page, Built2Banter, that if you follow Twitter, we'll be uploading the links for the video on there, and just sort of having some general discussions on our bets on our Twitter page. So we're going to be quite active. So give us a like, a subscribe, and hopefully we will be firm favorites as a nice podcast for you guys to follow every week.
Yeah, thanks, G. Thanks, Mitch. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Have a good week. Happy panting.
Thanks, guys.